I'm live.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell.
Don't expect anything huge today. Good information, low energy.
Guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up
ASMR
to
folks,
the
you're gonna have
sound
a ball
of the
today.
trading bell. My heart starts to pound.
Morning, T. Jassy. I am alive, just so you know. I am alive, not well, but I am alive. We're gonna go over the 4-hour algorithm. We're going to go over the Seeking Alpha. Oh, I've got to. Let's see. We're gonna change the date. 30th, and this one's going to be January 26th. Apply. Next. Done. 30 names. Morning, Wendy. Morning, Harold. So, I will tell you, I tested negative for the flu and COVID. And the only thing that made me pick my head up off the pillow was antibiotics. So, I don't know that it's the flu, but it was nuts. It was... I mean, I'm still not pushing myself to get the flu shot. I'm not one of those people. I'm in danger of Seeking Alpha on Google. I'm gonna close this down and I'm gonna close that down. We're gonna do a elevator pitch on Apple because there's some word on the street that a certain large AI company that has that has limited revenues and major outlays of contracts could be in trouble. But we're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at gold because honestly, I don't have enough gold in my portfolio, so it just hit another record. And it's all over social media. How's anybody missing this? I mean, I have at least gold miners in my portfolio thanks to Alpha Picks. But if you've missed that, good God. I mean, why? The Quant has been telling you, I have been telling you. I mean, you know, if your tools have not led you to gold, there's a problem. It's just a problem. Yeah, and we're going to use Sidekick. And the government will shut down again. Okay. Boom, boom. I mean, it could be, but I'm not. I made a joke in the Substack chat section that as I was a bond expert, then I was a foreign affairs expert and everything of that sort, and now I'm a doctor. So the whole thing that happened was, and maybe I should put this in the podcast. I don't know, but so girlfriend got flu. That was last week or the week before last, and then I went out hiking on Saturday. She felt fine. I felt fine. Sunday came home, watched the football game. Everything was good. Monday woke up with a sore throat. Did the podcast, wasn't horrible. I mean, wasn't bad. By Tuesday, I was bad. And so I had gotten onto teledoc chat with my insurance company, Oscar. And they said, I said, my girlfriend had the flu. She got Tamiflu. Can I get Tamiflu? They said, yes. Got Tamiflu. Didn't seem to do anything. And I got better, got worse, got better, got worse. I mean, it was just up and down. By Friday morning, I was clearly not getting better. And Larry and I got on a phone call with Teledoc. And I said, yeah, I'm not getting better. And she goes, let's do, and she heard my cough and she goes, yeah, I can tell. And she says, you don't need to go into a doctor's office. Let's do antibiotics. Because I had a fever. And that was the main thing, is the fever was the biggest problem. Because I couldn't knock the fever down. So we got antibiotics. And then even my Apple Watch, I mean, every 3 hours I was sleeping and I'd check my Apple Watch and it'd say, hey, your body temperature's too high and you're not breathing correctly. And, yeah, and your heart rate's up. I mean, it was just bad. And then, so I got the antibiotics. By Saturday morning, I mean, I could have moved furniture. I wasn't horrible. Now, I still took it easy. And I'm going to try and mute as much as I can so you don't have to deal with the phlegm sounds. But you will get some ASMR in this episode. It's going to be a good episode, man. I promise I got some good stuff. I don't know how it's going to turn out because a lot of it's just notes, and we got to see how stuff turns out because that's kind of the show. So I'm going to get started here and hit record. We'll put this down. We will We're going to quit that. Okay. And we've got that up there. Make that a little bigger. Okay. Yeah. And I think, Bob, I mean, it's crazy. I literally on Friday, before I took the antibiotics, and it was the teledoc nurse that said, hey, just take a COVID and flu test. Just take one. And they came up both negative. I didn't have the flu. I didn't have anything. So it might have just been a sinus infection. And I can tell you my head, still this morning, just the stuffiness. And when I blow my nose, you know, I've got that water sound in my ear. So I can tell there's just a lot of congestion, a lot of exhaustion. And, you know, Atlanta was in this state of emergency with all the expected ice, and there's no ice to be found whatsoever. I mean, it was bad yesterday, where the streets, the trees were covered with ice. But this morning, the ground is a little frozen, but it's not bad at all. Okay. Let me start recording here, and then I'll kind of hop on afterwards and chat and do stuff. Good morning. It is Monday, January 26th. I think it's the 26th. I can't see anything. I was sick. I'm sure if you're into ASMR, you're going to have so much fun on this episode. I mean, I know the two biggest fetishes, I think, are feet and ASMR. So, you know, I'll mute it whenever I have to, like, you know, spit up. But we'll see what happens. We're going to talk about a lot. We're going to talk gold's at an all-time high. Just reached 5,000. Again, kind of been pointing that one out. We'll go over the notes and kind of what I'm saying. Government shutdown in the looming. It's going to probably happen. Kalshi and Polymarket are saying 80% chance. We will talk about Sidekick. We will talk about Boyle because that is a triple leverage ETF on nat gas, and there's a lot of nat gas problems. And FYI, this is a great stock at certain times that you can trade, and I'll kind of go into the situations of trading it that I've done in the past. Did you buy Meta under $600? Because FYI, you've done really well over the past week. We're going to talk about Apple. We're going to talk about big tech stocks, the AI boom, because this is earnings week. What could happen? Because there's rumors of OpenAI potentially having some monetary problems. We'll talk about the Catalyst Watch email. Then we'll go over the strong quant buys that are reporting earnings this week. There's 30 names in there. And stocks that entered into the 4-hour algorithm. It's a big show. Stick around. Do whatever you want. You know, kind of cut your toenails while you're listening to it. One of the things that I wanted to introduce was, hey, if you're subscribed to the newsletter now, you can actually play the podcast on your Apple TV. I love Apple TV. I mean, I play Spotfiy podcasts up there all the time, just kind of sitting, cooking dinner, just kind of hanging out. I got my big screen TV. So remember, if you're a paid subscriber on Substack, you get commercial-free podcasts, and now you can watch them on your Apple TV. And here's how you can do it. I'll just put a link to this particular thing. It's great. It's still under beta. It is only on Apple TV, but it's thanks to Substack. And again, if you're not subscribed to the newsletter, you're missing out on a bunch of stuff. Like these podcasts, like right there, you can watch that. You get the paid section, you get the education section. And tomorrow, Tuesdays at 9 a.m., I am live on Substack for paid subscribers on what I'm calling office hours. It's an Ask Me Anything kind of thing. So again, a lot more benefits coming to the paid newsletter subscribers. I saw this one. This is an Instagram post from the compound. I still have not listened to this full episode, by the way. But the thesis of this, minute 30, a little clip and probably the entire episode, is don't fight the bull market. His point is, you don't get fired as a money manager for your underperformance in a down market. So in a down market, if you lose more, then you don't get paid for that. You get fired because in a bull market, you're not keeping up. That's just it. Down markets will create fear, but this is a buy the dip market. And if you have a money manager, they are probably very conservative at this point. I'm not. You're in a bull market until you're not. And now, what are you going to start hearing about? We can look at the pre-market here. You can see in the upper right-hand corner, there's a lot of red. Apple, way up, 1.3% at 250. Again, I love it at 250. I love anything under 260. I think when you get to 260 to 280, we'll go over that one in a little bit. You can see iBit down another 1.64%. It's down under 50, like it there. Meta is at 660. We'll go over that one. MPLX, energy, nat gas, that's up 1.29%. Plus, you get a nice 7% annual dividend. Microsoft, they own a portion of OpenAI. This could be a problem. Netflix, did anybody see that dude climbing the building? Did anybody have anxiety? I did. I watched it. Palo Alto Networks, we talked about that one. That's a $200 stock at 180. You can buy it. When it gets to 200, you can trim it. QQQ down 0.16, kind of flat. I mean, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy at all. Then you go to VOO. It's down 0.04. It's just flat. It's just flat. And what you're going to start hearing about is the government shutdown, because that's going to be the big news. If they can't pass in the Senate by 60 votes, and they need Democrats to do this, remember what you did last time in October when the government shut down. Go look at your journal. Okay? I don't listen to me. because I know exactly what I did last time the government shut down. I reviewed mine this weekend. I didn't listen to the compound episode. I went back to what I did during the last government shutdown. And if you didn't journal, first off, shame on you, because it's over and over and over again. I say that. And if you didn't journal, start doing it. Because if the government shuts down, you need to know what you did last time that worked and what you did last time that didn't work. Start by using an AI agent. You could use Sidekick on Trendspider. You know, it's up here in the upper right-hand corner. Use Sidekick and say, hey, what happened during the last 5 government shutdowns? Can you tell me? You could go over to Perplexity and use that. But I will be talking more about what I did tomorrow on Substack with the paid subscribers during the office hours, because that's the appropriate place. You know, here, I will just tell you, rinse and repeat. Go and look at what you did. Now, let me start out by saying, I had a fever. There was a huge response to the Trendspider sale. For anyone that went full Temu, okay, we can talk about Trendspider. Remember, they do have sales. You can get it at any point in time for $52. And I tell people, hey, this standard one, it's good. It comes with 1 training session. But when you have sales, the enhanced portion comes with 52 training sessions. And I had a huge response to the last sale. It was a holiday sale. You'll have another Valentine's Day sale, I'm sure. But for anyone that went Temu and said, ooh, during this sale, I'm going to get the lowest tier because I don't want to spend for those 52 training sessions. Okay, if you sent me an email and I was short, I had a fever. And the reason I was short is because you went full Temu. You didn't get the Lululemon pants, you went Temu. And if you're not going to Google things, if you are going to do your own research, understand that's 1 training session per year. This one's 3 right now, but the enhanced, when it goes on sale, is 52 training sessions per year. And yes, Trendspider offers training sessions. The reason why I tell you this enhanced tier is so good when it's on sale is because when Trendspider does a one-on-one, it's $50, which I consider cheap. Again, you're hiring a product expert. But when it's on sale for $20 per session and the tool is free, that's the offer. And then if you email me and say, how do you do this? I'm not here to teach you. That's what Trendspider is. So don't go Temu and then try and get Lululemon, because it doesn't work. And for everybody that got Trendspider during this deal, here's a great one. Add the double scan to your workspace. Okay, let's go and look at the double scan. Let's see if anything comes up. Let's see. We're going to try and import this one right now. Oliver Kell's double scan. Add to Trendspider. We're going to subscribe, and we'll put it up there. I'm going to close this one and claim it back. And we'll go to the 4-hour. And let's see if Oliver scans. Let's look at it. Oliver Kell's double scan. Let's look at them, because there's a bunch of them right here. Oh, and by the way, what does it do? This scan identifies the NASDAQ composite index that have doubled in price over the last 52 sessions while maintaining strong volume and price levels. Inspired by Oliver Kell's strategy, it focuses on names with sustained momentum and high relative strength, stocks that have doubled once and have the potential to double again and keep winning. That's what this finds. So let's go and look at some of them. I mean, let me just sort them by symbol. I mean, there's nothing. Applied Digital. Again, volume. We've turned that 32 into support. Could it double? It absolutely could. Let's go and look at this one. What's another one that I know? Dave. I've heard that one in social media stuff. Robinhood. You know, between 100 and 116, seems like it's just going sideways. Maybe that one's a good one. Hut, we know this one is a strong buy in the quant, and its earnings are coming up. Again, these are stocks that you should be looking at and trying to find ones that will double. Rocket Lab, we've talked about this one. I'm waiting for it to pull back to that 53 level. I don't know if it will. Maybe it gets back to that 70 and I start adding to it. But again, if you have Trendspider, go to their store and try importing stuff like this. It is one of the greatest tools that you will ever have. Okay? And you can import all of this stuff. It is great. Now, this is what an AI trading agent looks like. This is it. I mean, literally, they're putting stuff in here. And you can just go and watch this. This is Sidekick. It gives you all of your alerts, everything. Go and understand go to my link tree, the top link, Trendspider, and go and look at what this does. And if you don't know what it does, start asking Sidekick, start asking Perplexity. You can use AI to actually do it. Now, ChatGPT can't see your charts. What's the difference? Sidekick can. And literally, it can find stocks that look like the chart I have open now. It can find you other charts. I don't know what chart they had open right here, but it found additional 4. Say you have a chart. Say you like Rocket Labs. You can go up into Sidekick and use that prompt. Just tell me, find stocks that look like the chart I have open now. That's a pretty freaking good chart. That's a great chart right there. I mean, that comes off $4.60 to $88 today. Go and find them. Use Sidekick. Use your messages. For everybody who signed up for that sale, you have 100 messages for 30 days. Don't let them go to waste. Now, let me go over this. We're going to go over BOIL right now. Okay. BOIL is a triple leveraged ETF on nat gas. It is not something that you typically will buy and hold. Why? Because it's a decaying asset. Now, the alternative to this is KOLD. And again, it is a natural gas triple leveraged ETF. And we've seen this one over the past week. We can go and look at BOIL. It has skyrocketed. It is up another 6%. Over the last 5 days, you're up 32%. 1 month, you're up 24%. You can see the dip. What happened? What was talk about the storm that's currently going on right now? And so even in the 4-hour algorithm, you don't want to use the 4-hour algorithm. I used usually an hour or a 65-minute or something like that. But did I mention when you get a cold storm and you get some of this stuff, you get crazy movement in this, okay? And we see the 4-hour algorithm. It got you in here at 1859, January 13th. This is how you use Trendspider, okay? You can see when it gets above that 200-day, it doesn't stay there for very long. So if I had gotten in here, I'd be getting out right now. Now, how do I use this one? Typically, in the history of when I was doing it, I would use one of these moving averages as confirmation. When it trades over that, I would buy it. When it trades under that, I will sell it. It's a very simple trade. And yes, when you have some stuff, the last time I traded this heavily was around the Ukraine war. Why? Because essentially Europe was going to have a cold winter, and this was February, and they didn't have storage, and Russia had shut off natural gas. Natural gas prices spiked. There's a reason this is called the Widowmaker. It's not one you want to play with a lot. If you have a risk tolerance, I would say go and try it. Excuse me. But again, 54% in 10 days, that's one to keep an eye on. And then we can go and look at Meta. And again, while I was sick last week, I said, you know what? You do want Meta under $600. Did I buy it under $600? You bet I bought it. Even with a fever, I bought it under $600. It is a great price. Will it get back there? Well, right now, we don't have an upward trend. We're sitting in a sideways trend. Your MACD below the oscillator. Your RSI down at 48. Do you want this one? You have to understand, if it's a stock that you want, go and get it. Your watch lists are a secret cheat code. Wall Street says it's a strong buy, and they have a $833 price target on it. They have earnings coming up. Let's see, announced date 128. It's this week. This week. Will Mark Zuckerberg spend less? Probably not. Will the market take this one down if he spends more? Probably. But long term, I like this one. The quant says it's a hold. And you can read the entire quant rating. You may not know even what the quant is about. Valuation, growth, profitability, momentum. The one that's an F, valuation is significantly stretched with metrics like price to sales at 9 times the sector of 1.3. So is this one a great one? In my mind, I'm still a large cap tech guy. I like it. So again, what do you want? Now, speaking of Sidekick, somebody in the newsletter chat, they said, hey, I asked Sidekick about Credo, and it didn't like it above 500. And then Oliver posted this one. Credo was down 9% yesterday. This was Friday, I think. In my opinion, this is the safest and best connectivity bet in the world. 173% expected revenue growth in 26. 300 expect EBITDA growth in 26. Yet it trades at 34 times EBITDA. That's not cheap multiple. But when you set the growth at 300%, it is. If you want to be more focused on pure optics, I think Marvell could be a bit better play. That's flashing up on my spreadsheet right now. I first started a position at Credo 138, so after yesterday's flush, we're at break even, hoping for another bounce here, blah, blah, blah. Credo, let's go and look at it. Let's go and look at it. And let's ask Sidekick to actually look at it. Let's say Sidekick, can you do a full Wall Street style analysis of Credo before their earnings? What price should I pay? Are there any chart issues with the stock right now? Let's see. Oh, an error occurred. Please try this again later. What happened? Is Sidekick down? Hold on. Untitled conversation. Let's see. Let's see if it will work. Maybe it's not going to work today. There we go. It's thinking. So while it's thinking, I can take a look at the chart. I can close this down. We'll come back to this. But Credo right now, out in the 4-hour algorithm. 4-hour algorithm makes you half of what buy and hold does. It wins 48% of the time. I like this one. You can see right up on here, I have alerts. Sell and buy. Did I buy more? Not really, because at 140, I know that the top is 177. I've identified that one. It has hit in September. It has hit in November. It has hit in December again. And so when I look at this weekly, the MACD is still not low enough for me. The RSI is starting to get interesting. We are well above the 200-day. Remember, this is not an old stock. This is January 2022 when it IPO'd. And it IPO'd at $11. You are trading at 133. And remember, 177 seems to be the resistance that I found here on the 4-hour. And it's popped up there. Until that clears, that is resistance. So if you buy at 133, you've got to know that 177 is your top. Is the risk worth the reward? And Sidekick may start telling us this. Let's see. Oh, it's still thinking. We'll come back to that one. We'll come back to that one in a little bit. But again, someone commented about Credo. Do I think this is a great play? I like this one. I think it's still a strong buy in the quant. Let's go and look at the fundamentals. Well, we're looking. Yeah, it's still a strong buy in the quant. I've owned this one since February of last year as part of the Alpha Picks portfolio. It was the top 2025 stock. And if you look at over 1 year, you're up 58%. Year to date, you're down 7%. Is it a great buy? Maybe. Nobody knows. I mean, that's the thing, is you have to do your research to understand it. Oliver did his research. So I asked Sidekick on that one. Let's go into gold, because gold and silver continue to move. What I find interesting are those people who bitched at me. Okay, Alpha Picks. It's a great portfolio, up 274%, while the S&P is up 82% during the last time. Over last summer, there were a lot of people, and several of them wrote me messages. I'm not renewing my Alpha Picks because they're getting too much into gold. They were into gold miners, many of which today the stocks that they picked last summer have doubled. Okay? Gold hit 5,000 for the first time. So many of those miners that they picked last summer have doubled. Then I interviewed Steve Cress. Okay, I interviewed Steve Cress on my podcast. It's out there on YouTube. It's out there on Spotify. It is out there. And Steve Cress in that interview mentioned, hey, the quant has a history of not just picking stocks, but if it identifies a bunch of stocks in a sector, like it did with SMCI. And I'll just show you a chart of SMCI, okay? Because I want to show you a weekly chart of SMCI. This January of 2023 is where the quant said, hey, SMCI, it's a good buy. And it started saying AI was a good buy. Look at that. I mean, that is up in 1 year, 1,277%. Again, anybody that wants to say, hey, the quant's junk, go back in the history of it. It outperforms. The quant is a great, and it identified gold. And I even brought it up to Steve. I said, why is it bringing up gold all this time? And he said, hey, the quant not only has a great way of choosing just the stock, but it has a great way of actually choosing the sector. And so you want to take a look at these things. Gold tops $5,000 per ounce. The recent administration actions, including attacks on Federal Reserve independence, threats to annex Greenland, and military intervention in Venezuela, have spooked the markets. Gold is the inverse of confidence. It's a hedge against unexpected bouts of inflation, unanticipated drawdowns in the market, flare-ups, and geopolitical risk. Investors now await Trump, his pick for the next Fed chair, with a more dovish selection likely to boost bets on further rate cuts, a positive for this non-yielding bull. So if you expect silver and gold to go down because Trump starts cutting rates, no. Because the market is saying, hey, inflation may peak its ugly head. And if it does, we want to have, foreign governments. We saw that in August. We saw that. You want some expert opinions? Here's some Seeking Alpha experts. What's the safest bet for investors right now? They're saying gold. You can go back to August. I had mentioned gold and IBIT as great long-term risk assets. IBIT hasn't worked out. Excuse me. IBIT hasn't worked out. If we go and look at IBIT right now, we look at the 6 months of IBIT, it's down 24%. You look at the 6 months of just GLD, that is up 46%. So it's almost like a barbell. Okay. But my time horizon, IBIT was not 6 months. It's not 1 to 2 years. It's longer. And gold miners have provided that barbell approach that while my IBIT may go down, my gold miners have gone up. And I'll bring up the Pro Quant portfolio because the Pro Quant portfolio, it's great. Again, you can try this for $89. It's interesting because it gets you in and out much, much faster than Alpha Picks. It's an equal weighted portfolio. It is completely different. And I'm not using it as an equal weight portfolio. The way I've started to look at it is I want to identify what the quant and the Pro Quant portfolio uses the quant heavily. What's it saying about a sector? And what's interesting that I looked at this weekend was it's identifying gold as a sector. Yes, materials as a sector. But what it's also identifying is that technology, information technology, is a big sector. And a lot of the most recent Pro Quant portfolio buys are here in the technology sector. Here's a scan of 83 names. Just by looking at it, I can tell you quite a few of these names are in the Pro Quant portfolio. So I'm not going to give them to you. Again, if you want to try it out, you can try out the Pro Quant portfolio. It's here on Linktree. You can go down to the fifth link right there. Again, it outpaces the S&P equal weight portfolio. I'm not a huge fan of this one based on the cost, but for $90, I would take a look at it, because if it's within your budget plan, again, we talked about how I think these tools are more like house insurance. Your house is worth how much money, and how much do you pay for homeowners insurance? Well, the sweet spot for me would be with I don't have this one up there. It's the bundle. Let's go and look at the bundle. So I have to actually sign out of Seeking Alpha here. Let's just sign out, and then we'll open up this link so I can show you the Premium and Alpha Picks bundle. The Premium and Alpha Picks bundle, you save over $159. That's the sweet spot. I would say for most investors, this is what you want. It comes with Premium, not Pro, and Alpha Picks. Okay, it gets you the best of both. Now, if you want the Pro Quant portfolio, you're going to click on this one, and it's going to give you an edge. Again, the Pro Quant portfolio up 16% versus 2.33. The main thing that the Pro Quant portfolio gets me, and I will tell you, it gets me, is in this area. I like this upgrades and downgrades right there, and the Pro Quant portfolio is great. The rest of this stuff, it kind of is interesting, not super interesting. But again, I'm going to provide you this link to technology stocks, and I can tell you quite a lot of them are in there. And the AI boom is shifting power to memory. We've talked about memory names all over the place. I've got a comparison in my list, and right here, if you go down to comparisons, I've saved this one, memory names. You can build it yourself in a comparison and then name it and save it. I've got STX, WDC, SNDK, and Pure Storage. And we can go and look at the total return of these ones, okay? Just the total return. And we'll look at 1 year. Look at STX, Seagate up 225%. Western Digital up 350. 1 year. SanDisk, clear winner at 1,200%. 1,200%. And it's shifting. That's what they're saying. Again, it's shifting. And this week, it's earnings season. This will be the question. The Mag 7, do they continue to spend? And if they are, where's the money going? Is it still going to NVIDIA? Is it still going to Credo? Or has it shifted to memory? So you want to make sure that you understand your risk reward. And I talk about this all the time. I went over at the beginning about the OpenAI stuff. Apple is prepared to produce its largest revenue jump in 4 years with Q1 results. Apple CEO Tim Cook said first quarter revenue is expected to demonstrate year-over-year growth ranging from 10% to 12%. This would easily eclipse Apple's previous record high quarterly revenue. There's a lot of talk, and if you look out on the street, a lot of talk, and I'll continue down this path about OpenAI having spending problems and too much commitment on spending. Remember, OpenAI is too big to fail. Microsoft makes money from them. Amazon makes money from them. CoreWeave makes money from them. NVIDIA makes money from them. Oracle makes money from them. Apple, they get 30% of the revenue that OpenAI currently charges on the monthly plan. They get 30% if they sign up through an iOS platform for that. That won't even be a rounding error for Apple. That's not a big deal. It won't crash their balance sheet. And they already announced, by the way, Apple did, that they are in bed with Google for the Siri improvement that's coming out. I trust Apple will make things right with their iPhones and Siri. I trust in that. Tim Cook is saying, hey, this is a good opportunity. If we look at the Apple chart, I've made mention of this one before. Anything below 260, I think is a great deal. If you look at this weekly, we had to reset. Have we reset completely? Not really. You could literally go sideways and the MACD could still go down. Your RSI is at 50. Look at the last few times it's been below 50. Okay? April of last year, great time to buy. It may not be done going down. You may still go down below 240. You may still go down. I've got tens of thousands of shares. I'm not buying more. But I'm not selling either. This is a great risk reward for me. So let's just bring up U.S. government investment because we talk about this all the time. Intel, oh, excuse me. Look at what this did for Intel. U.S. rare earth, it's going up. Why? Because the U.S. government is expected to take a $1.6 billion stake for 10% of this company. What's its market cap right now? 3.29. If they're taking a 10% stake and they're buying it for 1.6 billion, they think it could be worth a lot more money. I'm just looking at this one right here where it started to be talked about. Where's that price? $43.98. Where's it trading? Even in pre-market, it's up. It was up Friday, 9%. It's up 20% in pre-market. That may not be enough. This may continue to go up. Find a strategy that works with this one. USAR is the symbol. Now, the 4-hour algorithm, it makes you about as much as buy and hold. It wins 63% of the time. This one had you in at $14.49. We've talked about this one. It wins 63% of the time. So the 4-hour algorithm, great strategy on this one. We look at the weekly, it reset. Could it get back to that 40? Absolutely, it can get back to that 40. Okay, I like this one. Am I investing in this one? No. For me, the risk reward is Apple, not this one. If I were in my 20s or 30s, this is one that I would absolutely be going YOLO on. Why? Because the government's going to put in $1.6 billion into this company. That's the rumor. Could it go down 50%? Absolutely. Would I be putting my entire portfolio in this? No. I'd be putting a couple $1,000s into this one, thinking, ooh, if this one goes to 40, it's a couple $1,000 gain. That's a great gain. It's a trade. It's not an investment. This isn't one that I'm betting in 20 years like I did with Apple, that is going to be the best investment in the world. Right now, it's not worth it. Why? They don't have revenues. When you look at the financials, they have no revenues. It is a trade. So I like some trades like that. Look again, if you look at Intel, Intel is a meme stock. This is not an investment. And you've seen that with the recent earnings. They're down like 20% since their recent earnings. 4-hour algorithm blows away buy and hold. You're up 103% in 24 months versus losing 4% if you bought and held Intel. It is not one to buy and hold, but you can see this one got a nice 86% gain when the government put money into it. It's a meme stock. Where's it coming back down to? Probably 20. It's not worth it. The valuation is not worth it. Now, like I said, it is 100% earnings week. It's all about earnings. The Mag 7, they're having their earnings, but there's a lot of other things in here. Okay, I like this one. AppLovin is one down 25% in a month. This is still a strong buy in the quant. It's up 2% in pre-market. Why? Needham upgraded on bullish data. We've seen this play out before. It's going to have huge volatility. If you look at 1 month, they're down 26.72%. 6 months, you're up 44%. 4-hour algorithm, which I play, doesn't have you in yet. It will. Where's it going to go up to? Probably that 721. They have earnings coming up, and we're seeing analysts upgrade it. Has it reset on the weekly? Not yet. Could it go down to that 417? Absolutely. But I trust it. I like that one. Another one that's in this one is HL. They're doing some presentation. This is a silver miner, by the way. You look year to date, you're up 65%, 57% in just 1 month. That's from Catalyst Watch. And huge earnings. So I want to remind you, if you are an Alpha Pick subscriber, okay, if you have this bundle, go and look at your Alpha Picks and find which ones are strong buys that are reporting this week. That is your hack. Okay? Now, I've got a thing out here, strong buy by quant. Okay? These are stocks that are reporting this week that are strong buys in the quant. Simple. It's 30 stocks. These aren't Alpha Picks buys. These are just the strong buys that are reporting this week. Okay? I will be going over some of these tomorrow in the office hours on Substack. So if you're interested, again, go over to Substack, sign up for the paid newsletter, and I will be going over it in the office hours tomorrow. And if you're ever interested, again, if you have Trendspider, I love waking up to this. This is essentially my Bible. When I wake up, I have a scanner that sends me, hey, what stocks are in on the 4-hour algorithm and what stocks are out? Well, we talked about Meta. It got you in at 646. You're still in, but it's not a new buy. It's telling me, hey, maybe you want to hold off on this one. It's telling me, let's see, the ones that are in Microsoft, NVIDIA, QQQ, XLK, and XLY. So Microsoft, we have a new buy, 470. Is that one to buy? Because maybe we're going back up to that 500 mark with earnings this week. They have earnings. We can look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA's got a buy. And by the way, you can just click on that email and it opens up your Trendspider. NVIDIA, we've traded sideways. Their earnings aren't this week. It's February 25th. We've traded sideways, but you've put in a nice support level around 180. It's 187 a buy. Maybe 4-hour algorithm makes you 103%. Buying and holding makes you 241%. I tend to like to buy on the 4-hour algorithm. Is it a great one? No. I've got a position in this one, and I've said it before. I like AMD to outperform, so I'm adding to AMD. XLK and XLY. These are ETFs. XLY, this one includes Tesla. 123 the buy. You can see the 4-hour algorithm makes you 31%. Buying and holding makes you 42%. I buy and hold this one. Am I buying it now? Nah. I've got a full position in this one. XLK. This one, 145. 4-hour algorithm makes you 20%. Buying and holding makes you 51%. I have bought this one on dips before. Is it dipping enough for me? No. Weekly, this one's still up there. But again, the 4-hour algorithm and Trendspider provide me those tools. So if you have any questions, everything's on Linktree. I think I've gone on long enough. And my throat is on fire right now. So I will talk to everybody on the office hours tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye. Oh. Yeah. Oof. Okay, let's go over. I thought it was a decent podcast. Oh, I never went over. You know what? I should go over. Yeah, we'll go over. Let's see what it came out. I'm going to hit record again. Whoa. Stop the clock. I forgot to go back and see what Sidekick said about Credo. Let's see if it came up with something. So Credo, if you remember at the beginning of the podcast, we said, hey, Sidekick, I'm now provide you with a comprehensive Wall Street analysis of Credo. So it goes over earnings track record, 8 consecutive quarters of earnings per share beat, massive acceleration from 53 million quarterly revenue to 266. Core products, 5 growth pillars. It gives you all of this stuff, valuation analysis, extreme overvaluation, peer comparison, Broadcom, Marvell, A-Lab, Astera Labs. So it does say that it's overvalued. What price would be fair? Using conservative assumptions, current price 133 is at the upper end of fair value. My target price 95 to 110. We can go and look at the chart. Risk assessment, high risk. Critical business risk, customer concentration, 67% from one customer. We think that that's Amazon. Manufacturing dependency, TSMC only for all of its ICs. Single AEC market and technology risk. We know that TSMC is charging more because they're the only ones that can do stuff like this. Tariff and geopolitical, operational strength, technical analysis, major red flags, recent price action, all-time high 213 on December 2nd, current price 133, 38% down in 7 weeks. Technical concerns, broken parabolic move, classic blow-off top pattern, heavy volume selling, failed breakouts, Support zones, 130, current minor support, 120, major support zone, 100, critical long-term support, resistance zone, 145. Okay? All of this from just Sidekick. So let's go back and look at Credo. Remember, 100 is its extreme support zone. Yeah, we can see that. If we just put a line over at about 130, I think it said this is the minor support zone. So if we just say, okay, 130, that's about where it's been and where it's trading right now. So again, I know that buying it right here puts me in the 177 for going all the way back to September. And you can see that breakout from April last year. And if we just go and look at the actual support at 100, you can see right there, if we get down there, it wouldn't be out of the question. Why? Because the weekly chart is still stretched. And when we put just a mark over here, where's this one? It's at 88. I wouldn't be surprised if you pulled back to that realm right there. If you do, it's an absolute buy. But am I worried about this one? Not really. Again, from a quant standpoint, it's still a strong buy. It's still ranked number 3 out of 69 in semiconductors. Micron and Taiwan Semi are the two above it. Credo and then AMD. I own I don't own Taiwan Semi, but I own AMD, I own Credo, and I own Micron. Simple as that. It's simple. Again, Sidekick is just brilliant for things like this. This is a watch, but not a buy. So Credo is a phenomenal business executing flawlessly an AI connectivity gold rush. The technology is differentiated, the TAM expanding. The stock has run too far, too fast. At 133 and 24 billion market cap, 1 billion revenue, you're paying for protection. The technical breakdown from 213 to 133 signals that smart money is taking profits. The right price is 95 to 110, representing 25 to 35% downside from here. Be patient, wait for capitulation, buy when everyone else is scared. It's a great, great guidance. That's fantastic guidance. So again, I just wanted to add that one. I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Okay, we're going to have to edit that one together. Okay, let's just put that one there. Oh. There we go. And let's see. Okay. Now I gotta go to the end. We will copy and paste adjustments. All. There we go. And then let's go back here. So I will talk to every on fire right now. Right now. Whoa. Okay. There we go. I think we got it. Just gonna throw in the green screen. Oh. No. Stop. There we go. And then we're going to export that. And I've got to copy the do this one. Copy. And we're going to put this at the top. Okay. A for effort. Morning, dictator. Morning, vacation guy and Dominic. Yeah, it's a tough. Let's see. Can you create a YouTube thumbnail for the episode? Thinking. I'm just gonna use Perplexity to create a thumbnail. Oh. Create the image for me. Preparing to assist you. What? No. Now, it does, for some reason, it doesn't do this. Oh. No. I guess I have to attach an image for it to create an image. Let's see. There we go. I guess you have to attach an image for it to create an image. It can't do it all on its own. Okay, market's open. Let's see. Do. Graphic. Let's see. We're just going to use this dumb thumbnail. There we go. And we'll download that. We'll go into Canva and Wham. Downloads. There we go. Set images background and uploads. Let's see. Do I have a take this one. There we go. That's all we're doing. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll put in Trendspider and Seeking Alpha. And Seeking Alpha. Put up there as well. It's a little busy, but off it. Download. Okay. I am out of here. You guys have a great day. I'm going to go sleep on the couch and play video games again. Thanks for showing up. I'll see you guys tomorrow on Substack. See ya.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.